Here I'm walking down Strakinia Banja, and this is where I've been since March, starting this new project for the EU, on public finance project, working with all the ministries and everything. So of course I get here and I had to find my own apartment. Generally I want somewhere that's kind of central, so I can go out and walk out in the evenings and go to a restaurant, a bar, or meet up with people, go to some cultural events, and I'm just right now on my way to salsa, which is something I do like a couple times a week. Otherwise, also walking down this way down the street, I can go down to tennis, which I try to do. I'm meeting up with my friend Helmut tomorrow. German guy to play tennis. He always kicks my ass playing tennis, but that's anyway. So you can do all these kind of things around here. And as you see, as we walk around, this is like sort of Caféville. All of the, I'm going to just switch the camera around. You might get an idea of what it looks like. You see, there's all sorts of cafes and stuff. It's a bit early, so there's all sorts of the Temptations of Mama's Biscuit House. And so what else? The good thing about this flat, I suppose, is it's a one-bedroom flat. It's got like a sort of big living room area we actually saw with a big TV. But one of the important things, which is a sort of constraint, is I needed to have parking, and preferably off-street parking, because I have don't ask me why, but I have a Croatian registered car and I'm working in Serbia. So when I parked it on the street for the first couple of weeks before I found this flat, well, I knew about this flat, but this flat actually belongs to a friend of mine, so I didn't have to go through an agency. But that meant that better get one over. That meant that in the first couple of weeks the number plate was ripped off, and the problem with that. So we're filming at Caféville here. So my Croatian number plate, because it's a number plate from Split, got ripped off, so I didn't particularly want that to happen again. And 2 or 3 months later, I still don't have a number plate on the front of my car, because it will take all sorts of paperwork and everything to get it put back on. So off-street parking was kind of important, and the great thing about this flat is it's got off-street parking, and it just costs about €550 a month. Plus bills, which are another 125 or something like that euros per month. So let's say generally if you have about 675 euros a month, I have the flat. Now I'm only actually working here for about 9 months of the year, but that still means I can I have to take the flat the whole year, obviously. And I was wondering whether to possibly be moved to a different part of town. I mean, the one downside, it has got a very, very small terrace, but it's not exactly something you can have much of a party on. You could barely even swing a cat. I don't swing cats very often, but I mean, if I really wanted to swing a cat, then I would struggle on this particular balcony. And the other good thing, it's got good transport links. It's got the tram and the bus right outside, and I'm just around the corner from a street called Skadalia as well, which is like an old cobbled street where you can get lots of traditional Serbian food and that sort of thing. Bands playing, and accordions and double basses, and a lot of songs which I can't follow the words to. And then the other street, Strakinia Banja, which leads on to Kalamak Dam, which is where the big castle is, which is where I play tennis and go for a jog quite close to the river and all of that. So it's a good area to be in, and there's all sorts of cultural stuff, as I was saying, around that area. So this place here is called Pastis, and there's a lot of nice places to go around here. So it's quite an important thing about this area. It's it's the old part of town. The new part of town is mainly on the other side of the river, where you can probably get a bigger flat, but I also wouldn't be able to walk to work quite so easily. I prefer to be able to sort of walk to work and listen to my podcasts or whatever, and then have to get a taxi or a bus. I wouldn't mind getting a bus, but from where I am, I don't need to. So that's about it, really. One of the other big benefits is the other side of the street is a good old farmers market. So all of the people come along, bringing along their seasonal produce, whether it's cherries, whether it's sliver, all the fruit, the kaimak, the fresh Serbian cheese, the prosciutto, kulan, all these different types of Serbian or Croatian foods, tomato, all the vegetables and all that kind of stuff. So, and there's a supermarket even within the market. So it's not exactly that I need to go very far to buy groceries and all that sort of thing. And as well, there are some quite good supermarkets on top of that. So, they're probably not sort of international standard, but they're good enough for me. And there's pretty good restaurants and bars around. So, all in all, it's got most of the things I need. It's also actually not that difficult to get to the airport. Even by public transport, I can just sort of walk along and get number 72 bus to get to the airport. Or else I'll just get a cab. Or in fact, even with Wizz Air, they actually pick you up from your doorstep, which is kind of amazing. So to take you to the airport, so that's not a problem either. And then with the car, then it's quite easy just to sort of go out to explore a bit at the weekends. So all in all, where I'm living in Belgrade is a good place to be. This is me, Nick Norvell, here in Belgrade, start of August, summer of 2011.